Columbia recreational area they put in on the east side of the Susquehanna River, and it's just inundated with floodwaters, I guess, from the hurricane. So I came over to the west side thinking like, well, maybe it'll be a little bit more protected, and no, it's flooded over here too. And you know, I go out in it, but first of all, I don't think any fish are going to be even caring about eating right now with all that, and I can't tell you how much current's flowing here. I can't emphasize it enough. There, on the close-up, you can see how that water's pushing through here. Normally, this is just like a placid lake, no big deal. But I mean, it is ripping through there. Ripping through there. I'm not going in there on a kayak. I'll go find plan B somewhere. And my plan B was take a look at the iPhone and look for any body of water that was a lake or a reservoir or something that wasn't going to be affected by the current from all that water flowing in the river like you just saw, or the release of water, which is what happened at the dam above. I found this place called Octoraro Lake, and I started catching what I think were white bass and white perch. The white bass have stripes you can kind of discern going down their sides, and the perch don't, but they look very much the same. Anyway, what a fun day. Wow, okay, let's bring you in. So these things are aggressive. Look, so, you know, this is the lure, a Yozori white. I always start with a white lure because white's almost good anywhere, anytime. This one's kind of diving deep. This is the length of the fish. This is the length of the lure. So very aggressive fish. Nice. Oh. And he's self-released. There you go, just like that, magic. Since this was a new body of water for me to explore, I started with that white Yozori minnow imitation stick bait, because I control that along, and that's usually a good thing to start with. I have a lot of success with that. So, and then I would also use a Senko green pumpkin seed, wacky rigged on a weedless hook setup, and I'd pitch along the rocks like this along the shore. But mostly I found staying out in the middle and trolling was where I was catching all the fish. The channel there is about 21 feet deep. So trolling in that 21 feet of water, I had a nice troll because nothing was getting hung up on the treble hooks of the lures. And so it made for really pleasant trolling, relaxing trolling. And you're going along, and when that's the situation and that rod bends over, you know you're on. Here we go again. Oh boy. Well, here's another one. Gosh, they hit hard. Goodbye. They got a lot of spunk to them. They don't want to hang around long. What can I tell you? Enjoy them while you have them. That's what I'm doing anyway. For those of you who are interested in this sort of thing, I'm using my Salty PDL 120 Old Town pedal kayak. And as you can see here, I'm trolling one rod higher and one rod is set lower. And that's so I can have my lures moving through the water in slightly different elevations at the water column. That way I can find a school of fish if they're high or low. I was really pleasantly surprised by the size of Octoraro Reservoir. It's quite a great lake, and it does this sort of big old L-shaped curve up and around a little valley that was obviously flooded from where you put in at the bait shop and the check-in area. You must check in here. You have to register. It costs about $5.50 to go head out and get a license to fish on a lake on any given day, but extremely well worth it because look, it was one fish after the next. These guys are fatties. These would make excellent panfish. I'm just so loaded up with fish right now at home. I've got fish from the Atlantic Ocean. I've got fish from the Pacific Ocean. I've got fish from freshwater. So these guys are lucky. He's gonna dangle a bit. I'm gonna let him go. Awesome, really awesome. So this one here is the chunkiest one of the day so far. See, white Yozori stick bait trolling along here. I'm right out in the middle of the reservoir too. I'm in about 21 feet of water. And boy, these guys hit hard. they really put up a great fight. I can't even imagine what like a 2-foot long one of these. I don't think they get that big, but wow, 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 wow. Nice, thank you, Sir Fish. You are appreciated, and you're going to be let go right now. Okay, let's let him go. Goodbye. Oh, I mean, I just got hit again. Get it up off the bow here. Oh gosh, wow, another one. Another, and they're chunky and they hit so hard. First of all, I mean, look at this beautiful fish. Another one. I know I keep showing you the same species of fish. Frankly, I didn't expect to catch anything. This is a new area for me, new body of water. The sun's behind the clouds. It's just beautiful out. So we're gonna let him go. And you know, I think I'm gonna troll 2 lures that are exactly the same. Those white Yozuri minnows are really, they're hot. They're not hitting on anything but those. Let's let you go. Ready? Ready? Here you go. Yep, solo. Oh, and I see a lot of activity out here in the water. A lot of fish rising. There are osprey all over the place. What a beautiful reservoir this is. Nice surprise. Now let's see. I'm gonna switch it up from, I was using one of these on the left rod. I'm gonna put, of course I have another one. I'm gonna put 2 of these on. Because, you know, if 1 is good, 2 has to be better, right? I mean, it is perfect weather to be trolling down. I have my sunscreen on and all that protection and stuff like that because I'm keenly aware about not wanting to get skin cancer from overexposure to the sun. When I was younger, I didn't care about that stuff, but now, you know, I got a little smarter as I got older. A smidgen. And so, you know, I have long pants on, I have long sleeve shirt on, I have a hat that covers my ears and neck and all that kind of stuff. But that having been said, I don't really need it today because it's been shady most of the day, but pleasant. So mild temperatures, and you can almost feel the essence of fall in the air and in the water here. And it's, you know, only mid-August, but the fish are rising. You can see those rise marks out there maybe on the video. And the fishing's been steady. All one species so far. Plenty of birds and other wildlife to look at. It's peaceful and calm here. It's just a really nice discovery. I was thinking to myself, well, what do I do when I want a new body of water? Generally, if I don't have any advanced intel at all, which is the case here because I didn't intend to come here at all, I'll start by throwing a white minnow pattern, a white, what I call stick bait. Ooh, there was a rise right in front of the kayak. Unless I know there's a lot of yellow perch in because I've either seen them or was lucky enough to catch one, and then I'll throw like a yellow perch lure. But that notwithstanding, white is great. It shows up on dark days. It shows up on sunny days. It's pretty good. And if I wasn't having any luck with the white, I was going to switch to silver because I saw a couple of bait style fish, maybe 3 inches long, silver, like shiner type fish floating on the surface. But so far, the white minnow has been doing me good, so I'm going to stick with that. I have one on both sides. Come on, rods, go down. And just like that, you got a fish on. Oh, come on. I'll be darned. One after the next after the next. There's an osprey sitting directly across from me, chirping at me. Nice. There he is. What can I say? This is like a real treat. Anyway, we're gonna let this guy go. Thank you, sir. And slam. We got a fish on. Come on, it's another one. Yes. These guys have some sharp fins, just like sunfish. These aren't bad, but these dorsal fins right here, man, they're like needles. They'll whack you. Pretty cool. Okay, you get to go free. Truth be told, if I showed you every fish I caught and recorded with the video, we would literally be here together for hours, because from the moment I started trolling on this lake, I was catching fish till the moment I finished. So here's a couple of catches in rapid fire order. Another fish on, a little one, little one, little one. Okay, all right, I'll take you. You're good. There's a big blue heron squeaking at me. Oh, what? Same species. Okay, all right. Get it off the bow. Okay, pulling another one in, upside down, in the mouth. I mean, come on. So I figured out what's happening there when these fish get foul hooked like that one that you just saw. What's happening is they come and hit it and they strike, and sometimes they get it, you know, and that's a regular, normal type of fish you reel in. And other times they just slam the bait and then take off and they don't get hooked at all. And other times they slam the bait and then turn around real quick and they turn so that they hit the treble hooks. That's what feels like it's going on here. But in any case, there's another one. On the way back, I still have about a mile to go to get back to the truck. So fish on. Oh man, what a beautiful, beautiful fish. It's that dorsal fin though, the top part of that dorsal fin, it's like needles. Okay, get going. See you later. And off he goes. On my way trolling back to the truck to take out for the day, I saw a couple of coves, so I stopped trolling and threw a Senko worm in, like you see right here. I didn't have any luck, but at least I thought I'd show you the technique I'm using here in case you've never done it or are wondering about it. Oops. The calm and quiet in places like this, these coves, it's just something that really makes a day on the water something really special. I think, for me, it's as much a part of fishing as catching fish. I've found that when using a rig like this is again a Senko worm, wacky rigged, so they say, so that means that you're putting a hook through the middle of the body of the worm, equal distance from the tip to the tail, and on a weedless hook. When you toss it in there, if a fish doesn't hit almost immediately or within the first 3 seconds, you're not going to get a hit. So it's just a game of throwing, dropping, throwing, dropping, you know, retrieving, of course. And repeat until maybe you get lucky and hit the spot where the fish is right there and gonna take your bait. Yeah, it's times like this I wonder if I had live bait, if it would make a big difference. You know, if they're really hungry, they'll go after these Senkos, I guess, but if it's kind of marginal, you kind of always have the answer to your question if you have a little live bait. Nope. All right, I tried. That's why it's called fishing. Now, you know, I spent all of, what, 50 seconds doing that? I'm so impatient after catching all those fish on the troll. All right, you see where this tree is hanging out over the water? Right here, right off the bow. I tried one cast in there. I'm gonna try a cast from this angle. If I don't get anything, then we're gonna head back out and troll and finish up. This is the part where patience is a virtue. I'm not big on patience. I feel like if it was gonna happen, it was gonna happen on that cast right there. I'll try one more. I got a good angle here. One more time. This is not easy right here. Tree branches hanging down. Oh, okay. That's over a tree branch, but at least it went in at the right place. Nope, not happening here. We're moving on. Moving on. That's on a weedless hook, by the way. That's the only reason I'm not getting totally hung up. Okay, let's move on. Moving out. We're moving out. Moving back out into the channel. Maybe I'll try and flip it one time here. I'll see if I can turn the kayak into this hole in the trees. I mean, you know there has to be fish in here. Come on. Oh, right here. I'll try this. One Hail Mary. Two Hail Marys. Back her up. Let's get out of here. Put that pedal drive in reverse. Head on out of here. I tried, ladies and germs. Let's get back out there and troll the rest of the way in. Nice acceleration, and we're out of there. Here's another fish on. Boy, it's been just as good on the way back to the truck as it's been on the way out from the truck. Here we go. It never gets old. It never gets old. Beautiful. One more time. One more time. There we go. Been treating me to fish all day long. I started at around 12:30 and it's almost 4 o'clock now. I'm heading back and I didn't have any luck trying to catch any bass in that little cove, but as soon as I got out of that cove and went in this main channel, it's about 21 feet deep, boom, fish back on. These fish are very active today. I have no idea why. Maybe the storm front that pushed a lot of cold water in here and they're feeling like fall feeding patterns. I don't know. I'm not a fish expert. I just like to come out and do it. So let's get you released. That beautiful view down the lake, the reservoir as it were. And off you go. Goodbye. Yeah, see you later. Honestly, I'm not exaggerating. These white perch fight like fish 4 or 5 times larger than they are. They have all the fight of any kind of bass or almost any kind of game fish. Look at this fish go. I'm showing you this in slow-mo because it all happens so fast, but the fish is dancing and carrying on. He's not that much bigger than the lure and he's just slamming it. And I use lightweight rod and my line here is probably, well, my line's probably about 8-pound test, which is probably overkill for a fish this size. But, you know, I learned my lesson a couple trips ago when I had 6-pound line on and caught a muskie and it just tore that line up like it wasn't even there. Anyway, This is a wonderful fish to catch, and again, I'm singing the praises of Octoraro Reservoir. This lake was just a hoot. It's loaded with wildlife. The bird life that you can see in here just adds to the whole great fulfillment of the day, being out and about in the great outdoors. And then you're catching one after the next fish. You know, I didn't go there planning to take any fish home, so I let all the fish go, but what a meal this would have made. As you know, if you watch the show, I'm a big fan of making fish tacos, and boy, I could have got a lot of fish tacos out of these guys, but they'll be there for somebody else next time. All day long, one after the next. What a surprise. I know I keep using the same word over and over again, but surprise, surprise, surprise. Hey, Gomer Pyle, surprise, surprise, surprise. That's what's going on here today. I'm gonna let you go. Oh man, what a magnificent, magnificent fish. Thanks for the fun, dude. I thought you might find it interesting to see more or less what that white lure looks like as it's being trolled in the water. You can see it's wobbling and vibrating back and forth, and you can see that the color is clearly visible even in a little bit of discolored water. So, I don't know, worked for me, probably worked for you. I like to troll past these solar-powered safety platforms, are they, or channel markers, whatever. I feel like fish would hang around the ropes or the tethers. It seems like every pass too I get into some fish. The trick is to not troll over the tether line and lose your lure. There's a hit. Man, I can't get back to the dock. This is crazy. Crazy fun. I'd say 90% of the strikes were off the starboard side where I'm using really thin line. Oh, come on. Yep. There's yet another. These are beautiful sized panfish right here. Gorgeous. Hey, okay, well, you win some, you lose some. You've seen enough of them anyway. How many do I need to show you? You get the point? There's a lot of these fish in this reservoir of water. Woohoo! Jesus. There's another one. Whatever this is either foul hooked or a little bit bigger. Yep. Jumped on the mouth, then turned quickly, and then gets itself all hooked up in the rest of the treble hooks. Jeez, there's a lot of these in here. Holy cow. Let's let him go. Okay. Looks like we're gonna make it into the dock area now. This is a nice put in here too for kayaks. Very, very nice. It wasn't crazy, it wasn't hectic here today. Of course, it is a Monday. But there's really no one there now. Of course, I still have the lines in the water because why not? You never know. There might be that monster lurking by the shallows. And if not, we had a pretty darn good day. Oh gee, I have maybe just enough time to go over here and flip a Senko worm right in front of that culvert that goes under the road. Let's troll over there and do it. Because if I don't, I'll always wonder. But if I do, then I'll know. Oh, come on. It looks like there has to be a fish home here. I'll keep trolling these 2 rods and just throw this worm in here. Anybody home? Any monsters home? Calling all monsters. Okay, I'm just gonna drop it right there. Calling all oh, did you see that bubble up? Calling all monsters, come on. Oh, one more cast. One more cast, just one more. Man, what was the kid's story? 3 billy goats gruff, where there was something lived under the bridge. I forget what. No, come on. No. You know, you live for that big splash moment. Drop it down now, watch. Ooh, come on. Now that looked like a worm fell in the water, don't you think? Oh. Nope, it ain't happening. So we're going home, going home. All right. Okay, beautiful thing about this pedal drive is instant backup. Let's just back on out of here. Change our heading a little bit and head into the dock. Day well spent. Thank you, Mother Nature. Okay, so this has been a total surprise of a day. Of course, if you watch the whole episode, you know, I'm just totally thrilled. Day started out as a real bummer. I drove about an hour from my house to the Susquehanna, not even thinking that all those tributaries after the hurricane and all that water coming down would make that thing into a raging bull of a river. I didn't want to get anywhere near that on a pedal kayak. Come on, that wouldn't have worked at all. Plus, fish don't bite when the weather's that crazy. At least, unless you really know what you're doing and you're really lucky, or any combination of both, and that's not usually me. Usually don't know what I'm doing, and I'm usually not that lucky. Every once in a while things work out though. So I'm glad you came along with me. I have about an hour and 10 minutes to get home, but I'll be smiling the whole way home. Once again, I'm glad you're with me. This is Dave Kline for RAPTR Adventures. Go ahead and hit the like button if you like what we're doing, or subscribe if you want, and that way you won't miss anything. I put shorts up a lot because a lot of times I don't catch enough fish to even make a 30-minute episode. So, but that doesn't mean that there's not some exciting moments that happen in those 8 or 10 minutes or even 2 or 3 minutes when you have a fish on, and I like to share that with everybody. Thanks for being here again. We are at RAPTR Adventures, RAPTR, on YouTube and on Facebook. I'll see you next adventure.